The promise of Dead Island mixed with the free running of Mirror's Edge is what initially drew me to Dying Light. Overall, the concept holds up well, and there's plenty of things to do during your stay in the fictional country of Haran. With all the different zombie games out there, it's easy to get burnt out, but Dying Light does something unique to change up the formula. You see, in the world of Dying Light, when you get bit by a zombie, it's not necessarily game over. In fact, most of the survivors living in Haran are already infected. There isn't a cure yet, but there is a suppressant vaccination called antizin. Antizin is the most valuable thing on this island, and there isn't enough of it to go around. This means that when an eventual airdrop comes in, everyone is gunning for it. The second change in the formula is that nighttime can be deadly. Enemies become much stronger and faster at night. If there are only 2 rules in Haran, they are don't run out of antizin and don't be caught outside a safe zone after dark. Once you get a little bit more experience and are able to craft weapons with fire or electricity mods, this rule becomes more of a suggestion. In fact, if you want to risk it, being out after dark will give you double experience in everything you do. Just be careful to not get too surrounded by enemies. You'll get experience for avoiding being seen or escaping dangerous survivals as well. The story and characters of the game are okay, but not anything to write home about. Being a zombie game, you should get used to the idea that most in-game characters will have a short lifespan.
You're Jade, right?
Right.
I just wanted to thank you for what you did for me and tell you how sorry I am for your loss. I owe you and Amir my life.
Yeah, you do. You want to return the favor? Keep my dipshit brother from killing himself. No explosives, Rahim.
At best, I would say the story held my interest enough to get me through the main story, but I didn't feel the urge to go out of my way for side quests. In fact, I felt that the game was almost urging me not to do them, as every main story mission I was given, I was told that there was no time to waste. Past the story though, the gameplay holds up well. The free running is fairly fluid, and the combat brings the best parts of Dead Island forward and adds to them. As I mentioned earlier, weapon crafting is still a thing, and it's always fun to add elemental effects to your weapons. The gunplay works well, but you'll find yourself sticking mainly to melee weapons. Of course, you should never bring a knife to a gunfight. It won't end well. There are a few glitches in the game that pulled me out of the experience for a second, but nothing I found was game-breaking. And with the rest of the mechanics working so well, to include Skyrim-esque lockpicking, it's hard to find much to complain about until you reach the end of game, where the difficulty spikes and requires long segments of very precise freerunning that the rest of the game just doesn't require. If it had worked towards building up to this level of freerunning accuracy, I would find it more acceptable, but the ultimate insult this game handed me was that after conquering the precision freerunning section leading up to the final boss fight, I was greeted by nothing but a weak quicktime event that led to the credits rolling. It was even more disappointing due to the other boss sections in the game actually requiring you to fight a boss. Overall, I enjoyed playing Dying Light, but given the handful of glitches I ran into, and the frustrating end sequence that culminated in a disappointing finale, I give Dying Light a 7 out of 10. I feel that with a little bit more polish and effort given into the finale, it could have been better. For more reviews and all your gaming news, this has been Kyle Waite of Phoenix Overdrive.